Hello, and welcome to another episode of Ecstatic Dies a Lot, where we're hoping Ecstatic doesn't die. We are on day 3. 1, 2. Yes, 3 of the Sucky Boy and a Banshee's Strider Pants rise in the charts. Those who are just joining us know that I really expect there to be anybody new. Created some challenges for myself based around my own brand of silliness, I suppose. I would call it dumbassery, but somebody else told me I was silly, not a dumbass, so we'll see. Challenges, how this came about. I was heavily medicated and kept reading Succubus as Sucky Boy, as well as conversations about whether or not the plural of succubus was succubi, or succubus, or succubuses, like octopus can be any of those. Banshees came from the fact that I kept running into fucking banshees and I hated them. And Sturdy Pants kept coming up, and the joke was made that Sturdy Pants sounds like an emo rock punk single for Sucky Boy and the Banshees, which also sounds like an emo goth punk rock band. Challenges were obviously I can only wear armor types of the Strider variety. Accessories we have decided could be of whatever. Of course, emphasis leaning towards whatever armor it was. Weapons, because Sucky Boy ended up being a necromancer, could only be a handheld sickle and inappropriate foci, or a two-handed scythe. Of course, the ultimate goal is to make it to Lilith. And the real kicker to all of this is that it's hardcore mode, because this started out as a silly thing that I said Sucky Boy and the Banshees sounds like a band name. So this became the Ecstatic, I'm not even sure what to call it. But Sucky Boy and the Banshees is a band created here on my channel. And the first challenge was Sturdy Pants. Now, while I was doing my Sturdy Pants run, Sin, my lovely, lovely moderator, and only consistent viewer, misheard me say something, which sparked the next music artist to grace our channel and start their rise with their breakout single, You Drifted My Way, who, as you now know if you've been following along, was Fishcake Mama, who was Spiritborn, and we figured was more of like a blue, folksy, like soul singer. So she ended up being Spiritborn. Then we ran into rubber banding problems, like woo. And we tried to do Sucky Boy, Strider Pants more than once. And the rubber banding kept fucking killing us. And I was playing a personal game outside of all of this. I kept reading Soul Burner as Soul Burger. And Soul Burger and the Rubber Bands was born. The third band to grace our charts with their single, Wanderer. She was a druid. And broke with the Rubber Bands towards the end of the run, where her run was tragically cut short. She surpassed Sucky Boy, though, and Fishcake Mama, and died at like level 42 or 43, I think. And the rubber banding had for the most part stopped at that point, so we decided to give Sucky Boy and Strider Pants a proper go, which is where we're at now. And each session, I haven't been doing it the last couple because I've been distracted by other things. I am keeping a tally of the various armors we find and their affixes, such as fur-lined, sandworm, weathered, heavy, etc. And we'll figure out who comes next. We'll find out what armor type is next, and we'll end up deciding which artist, what the song title is, and of course the rules. We did come up with a couple of new rules because we hadn't run into the problem before, which when in the case of uniques, we kind of decided that because they don't have a base type like sturdy or weathered or the like, they are unique. Uh, as long as they fall in line with the theme of the artist and their um, run at the time, like we came up with a unique the other day, last session actually, that was really nice, but the suffix or imprint aspect on it, whatever the fuck that was cold damage or cold related, which is not Sucky Boy and the Banshee's deal. Even though it could technically be said, you know, that the grave, gothy, cold, but there was none of their weapons. I mean, the only thing that did cold damage was the mages. So we decided that that was inappropriate for Sucky Boy to wear. Oh, once we get these rules all settled out, I might actually start the challenge over once we, because we're learning a lot here. And it's kind of fun and it's very challenging because I have to actually think a little bit harder about what I'm doing because we are playing in hardcore mode. Um, which means that when I die, it's done. Their run is done. And we start something new. Uh, so it is very challenging, especially since my go-to kind of style to play is I run into things headlong, even when I really shouldn't. I don't do defense very well. If you've been watching my channel at all, dodging is like non-existent for me, even with mechanics for it. I'm terrible at it. But now that I've explained myself, probably more than I needed to. But then again, I don't really think there are many people watching this, if any. Twitch keeps telling me I have more than one viewer by the end of my stream, but I don't believe it. I think they're all bots, except for Sin and the occasional person that pops in but that I know by name. I figure most of them are bots. Oh shit. So I'm trying to set shit on fire. Alright, so here we go. Now, I suppose if we were going to do this properly, I would actually have to be doing the main campaign. But I have never... I don't think I've ever played the way I was supposed to, or what might be considered the right way to play. I like to run around and kill shit until I get bored doing that, and then I might further the campaign. Usually it's like I avoid the main quest at all costs until I can't anymore. So that's what we're doing. We're running around, cleared out dungeons. You know, getting a handle on things. And it's also letting me explore different builds as well as classes. Pardon. Builds and classes that I would normally not necessarily look at. It's also forcing me to explore aspects of the gameplay that normally I would also just kind of ignore, like the crafting system. Because damn it, or sorry, dadgummit, back when I was playing video games in my day, you didn't need all this crafting bullshit. Oh no, you could find everything you needed just from killing shit and opening chests. You never had to worry about it. Yeah. There you go. I'm old. I am not as old as Grandma Shirley, though. And she still plays Skyrim. So, I want to be like her when I grow up. So, this is what we're doing. Let's do the thing, Julie. I like to just charge in and kill shit, even when my characters are not built for that. I love minion builds, I really do. Because I tend to want to rush in and do things that I really just should not do. We are actually headed towards a cellar that I noticed. Here it is. I love these little things. I am a huge fan of this series. I have played it since the first one. Oddly enough, though. I've never actually finished the first one. I was there. I was in the room. And then my character died. And this was back before you could revive shit. If I remember correctly, it's been a long time. I was playing with my ex-husband. And I died. Ooh, we got fur lined. That's our first. So add that to the fur lined. Ooh, 1. We were playing. I was playing a rogue. He was playing a barbarian or fighter. Fighter. It's a fighter class. Yeah, and I was doing the rogue class. And I died in the battle with Diablo. And there was nothing he could do except try and kill Diablo or die. Or die trying. He managed to kill Diablo, so I never actually finished it. I have never finished 2. However, I want to go there, but first, let's do that. Oh, nope. You know what? We're going to get where we're going first, because that's more efficient. Ooh, hello, Mother. Somehow I missed that one during my regular runs. Never beaten the second one. The third one, however, I played the fuck out of that one. I've beaten that one so many times. I couldn't even tell you how many times I've played and beaten that one. Nope. And then I've beaten this one once. I have not finished the Vessel of Hatred expansion. I got irritated with it, frustrated with it. I don't even... This game has been disappointing to me, and I'm not even entirely sure why.
It is done.
Found and lost, and found and lost.
And I got tired of it, and then so we did the challenge. We came up with the rules, and here we are. I'll go back to the Vessel of Hatred at some point. I'm going there. I get into this thing where it's like, I have so many games I need to play through. It's the reason I started streaming, to force me to do it. And, you know, in the 5 years I've been doing this, I would say that definitely, oh shit. It has definitely helped me in achieving that, is playing through the games, you know. I have unfortunately bought more games in that time as well. So I'm a little behind in the hell is a comma? Oh. Oh shit. So I'm not, I am I guess I would definitely consider myself an equal opportunity gamer. That's what I tell people when they ask me what my primary platform is or what platform I play. What kind of pants? Wise pants, I bet. Vigorous pants. Vigorous. Okay, that's one I haven't seen before. Or maybe I did and just didn't. Lethal Shrine. I have multiple systems. I have multiple games for multiple systems. I do a little bit of everything, I suppose. Always have. But I suppose if somebody, you know, asks me what my primary system is, it's going to be my Xbox, just because it's the one I've had the longest. It was the first one that was solely mine. But I do have a PlayStation, a Switch. I game on my laptop a little bit. And at some point, I do want to play this series from beginning to current ending. But I gotta figure out how to do that, since the original Diablo is for PC only. And last I heard, there were no plans to remake it for consoles because it was too old or something. Of course, they said that about 2 as well, because 2 needed the code to be completely rebuilt because they lost it or something. The original code. And they managed to remake 2, so I don't know, but I have heard no plans or anything from Bethesda saying that they were. Is it Bethesda? No. See, now I know anybody watching this is going to call me a liar and a poser for actually liking these games, because now I've confused myself. Which is unfortunate. And does not bode well for me later, because I live with some issues that fuck my memories up good. Even shit I've known for years. Or should know like the back of my hand. Anyhow. The creators, as far as I'm aware, have made no noises, at least no serious ones, about remaking the original Diablo. Which means I've got to figure out how to play it from my laptop while I also stream from my laptop. And I don't know how to do that. And learning new things is so fucking difficult. Practically impossible. Some days. Some days I catch it, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna remember it. Which is problematic. Oh. Got some lag going on. Just a little bit though. And it's subtle, it's not terrible. But we'll have to keep an eye on it for sure. There. 'Cause I would really hate to lose this run to technical difficulties that I cannot control. And I think it's really shitty that there is no safeguard against that sort of problem. And I'm not even sure it's possible, since I have no idea how to make video games or what goes into it or anything like that. But, I lost, you know, some good runs through hardcore mode that were not my fault. Even though, I mean, I'm a shitty ass player, but it was not my fault. Because the game rubber banded or stuttered or whatnot at a point where I had, you know, I was doing what I was supposed to. And knew I had gotten away safely or whatnot, but it threw me back in there because it lagged and all that shit. But, you know, that's... And I know that there's nothing really to be done about it. It's not like I can say, hey, can I have my character back, please? Because how fair would that be? They probably have no way to verify that sort of thing. And it's even said hardcore mode that if you die, you die. Customer service can't do anything about it. Which again, while I understand I don't think it's right, which leads into my absolute frustration with games that have to be online constantly. At least Diablo 3 you could play offline if you wanted. You could play single player. There was no need to be online unless you wanted to access like the auction house or something. I think the only games that should be, you know, require being online only are ones that are MMORPGs, and that's all they're meant to be. Like, um, EverQuest Online. Or not EverQuest Online. Elder Scrolls Online. EverQuest 2. Ow. Fur-lined. Another fur-lined. Gloves we probably cannot wear. We'll find out in a minute. No. That might be worth it. I mean, it's missing the 19% damage over time, but I don't really bone weave. Ooh, I actually ran into that aspect in my personal game, and it's actually really cool, but does not fit this character whatsoever, so it's not a big deal. But I don't think games like this should be required to be online. If you want to play with friends, sure. But I also don't think you should have to be online if you want to play with friends. You should be able to do a couch co-op. Ooh. He's gonna be money related. Yep, money. Treasure goblin to the rescue. Let's see, let's... wander around. And it frustrates me immensely. Because when the network goes down or is having problems, then your game is having problems. No matter how good your equipment is, if the network is having issues on their end, you're gonna get fucked. Come on, let me in. That's a little more worrisome. Sin's real job must be occupying him. Because normally if he's gonna be late, he tells me. If he knows. Or he sends me a message. Ooh. I like the essence on kill. I'm not so worried about the critical strike damage, honestly. But oh, we need to upgrade our potions. I gotta figure this out too. I'm running almost an identical build in a personal game. And I have the, extra skellies aspect on one of my pieces of armor, and I have less than I have here. So I have something different here that allows me to have more. And I don't know what that is. We'll have to look through. Maybe it's something with What's that? That is stronghold. I bet that's a stronghold. That's a whisper. I've already done that one. I mean, I could do it again, but I think I've done that one too. Ooh. But sis, that's wrong. What's in here? Let's go back to Wajahani. I honestly, part of me really feels that if you cannot make the game without needing to be online, you don't need to make it. Online should be an option, not a requirement, unless the game is meant to be that way. Like I said, there are examples: Elder Scrolls Online, EverQuest, WoW, you know, shit like that.
Soon we cook again.
Needs to be online, and that makes sense. But games like this don't need to be online. Assassin's Creed doesn't need to be online. Resident Evil doesn't need to be online. Path of Exile, I think it needs to be online. But, you know, it's... Because even though... Ooh, artillery shrines. Even though it is rare to find anyone that isn't online. Perfect.
Be careful.
Yeah. Let's do it. We just gotta survive. So. I have nothing wrong with online games at all. I like being able to play with my friends who are in different cities or different states or countries. I like, you know, the MMORPGs. I'm a huge fan of EverQuest 2, or was. I have not played it in years, but I enjoyed the hell out of it while I played it. But 9 times out of 10, I'm a solo player. Or I want couch co-op. You don't really see couch co-op much anymore.
Wouldn't have made it without you.
Which is very sad. Oh, we got sturdy pants and drifter, but we've already used them, so. And what kind of pants are those? Vigorous? Wise? What? Wise. Now, I have never seen Wise, Drifter, or even Strider at this point that goes above blue. Oh, wait, what? Helltide? I did not even realize. Okay. Unfortunately, there's only a couple of minutes left. I don't want to be in here. There's really nothing. And what's over here? Why not? have to look that up to see if they do go above blue or not. Because if they don't, that makes things a lot more difficult. I mean, it's doable, obviously. Not sure how much longer it's going to be doable. That's where we'll go first.
What is this?
I have no idea. Ooh, an artillery shrine. Oh, continue.
What is this?
I also don't like the fact that the timers don't stop during lag. It is 33 degrees outside. It's so cold. Uh-oh. Damn it. Oh, we got our first piece of armor that we can use for the day. Let's see. Oh. We definitely need that, but I need to socket the fuck out of it first. Ew. I hate poison the most out of all of the different monster abilities. Poison's the one I hate the most. Although those fucking shock orb lance things, it's a close second. Now, we tested this particular build with the sockets that we put in and everything else last session, so I know that it works well. Ooh, and we went up a level. Good. So we are coming up on Soulburger's ending point real quick. Infused. Ow. Damn it. covens. That's one that I haven't been keeping track of because I forgot that it was a thing. Alright, what do we got? Bonded. We're gonna keep an eye on the lag for sure, because if it gets too much worse, I'm not sure it would be appropriate to keep playing this game. Because the goal is to survive, and I can't... This is not something I can fix on my end. Or avoid. Except by just not playing the game. We've already done Wanderers. I don't need to record that one for right now. Dude, that helm is... That's what it is. But why does that say 3? This is why I wish Skin was here. Because there doesn't seem to be anything that man doesn't know about this, about any game I've ever asked him about. I mean, this is definitely not as good as the one that I'm wearing, but one. Man, where the hell is Sin? Alright, I have cleared everything. I can't move. There we go. What's this? I suppose we could head this way. Dude. We're gonna go the long way around and...
The killers are likely still about.
Yeah. So here we go.
There's one. That's one.
Not sure who he's talking about. I've never actually
Get
paid...
that one.
Welcome in, Sin.
That's one.
We are having problems again today. Or
Get that one. There's one. That's one. There's one.
hold on.
We have done well.
There we go. Welcome in. Thank you for summoning me. Well, you know, you're usually really good about telling me if you're not going to be here. And I know, you know, your parents are getting up there in years. And sometimes your computer's broken. And sometimes work's getting in the way. So I figure, you know, I got to check on you, right? That's what friends do. Strangely, at the office. Oh, hold on. Hold up. Make sure I'm oh, okay, there's a dungeon. Give me just a second. I'll hit the dungeon where I'll be relatively safe. Won't it? At least I won't get snuck up on like I can out here. Okay. Strangely, I had the opposite problem with work. We put out a release tomorrow, and I've literally had nothing to do since 9:30. I've been mindlessly watching videos and lost all track of time. Fair. Oh, where did that go? Archon. That's the first piece of Archon that we've ever gotten. It keeps saying priests. What fucking priests? The only thing I have is mages. Are they priests? Are they the priests? And I got a weird question. So, in my personal game that I was playing the season through, I'm running a build pretty much parallel to this. And I have, except I'm not having to worry about, armor and whatnot. But, so I have this. You can also unsocket gems if you want to move them from one piece. Right, I do know about that. Is a priest a mage? Is a mage priest? See, I don't see them as the same thing because a priest indicates something like healing, which is usually more like cleric. Mage is more stuff like elemental magic. But multiple times I've seen priests, but I have not seen anywhere to summon a skeletal priest. Only mages. So I don't know if it's the same thing, and I've never bothered to look it up. I'll be completely honest. But so I have the same aspect as this. The number of skeletal warrior increased. This one says 3. The one that I have on my other game says 2. I'm going to assume that has something to do with the level of the aspect or something, because I have no idea why I would have more here and than in my personal game. Man, it's so cold outside. It's like 33 degrees. It's 66 degrees in my apartment, and I'm wearing gloves. I'm almost ready to put like the mitten part over and see if I can still use my controller. Has to be the power level of the item. Okay. Okay. I suppose that makes sense. Because I only have it as power of 2 is increased by 2 in the other one. And I thought that was very strange because that one has no restrictions, or at least none placed by me, like this one does. Oof. I don't think I can do the mitten part. Sad. I just don't have enough room for my... Or maybe it's partially RNG, I'm not sure. Yeah. I figured if anybody would have an answer that I had access to anyway, it would be you. I think they said, I even mentioned that when I was talking to myself, since there was nobody here, a little earlier, about how you like have all the answers to my questions when it comes to games. At least all the ones I've asked you about. Ooh, fuckers. No, you mostly have the answers for, like, Path of Exile. Hey. But you also work with mechanics that I don't when it comes to these games. You pay attention to a lot of the little shit that I just don't follow whatsoever.
I'm done for.
Yep. Oh, icky. My daughter came down yesterday, thankfully, and took me to the grocery store, and I was able to get groceries. And I made chicken noodle soup yesterday. Ooh, we got our second piece of armor that we can actually wear today. Let's see if it's actually any better. No. Wait, what? Maybe it is. This is decent though. I just need to put some sockets in it and I will definitely change it over. My computer lagged on me, so there could be a delay in my replies. I might want to refresh it at some point. Okay. Yeah, you didn't really miss much. Just me talking to myself about the various things I dislike about, games being forced to be online and shit like that. Oh. If we were doing like actual speed run kind of thing. No, that's not what I want. That is what I want. Alright, I need to go to the jeweler. Right?
Hakarat's blessing on that one. That came apart nicely.
If I salvage them, that turns them back into... Uh, yeah, I'm not there yet. I know in my personal game, I think the royal comes either in another 10 levels or when I hit Paragon. Because I have access to that kind of gem in my personal game, and my necromancer over there is in Paragon levels at this point. But if I salvage... If I salvage them, does that turn them back into chips that I can use to... If you have lower level gems that you don't need, you get their resources back to add up to... So salvaging them is what I need to do in order to get a higher level gem. See, in Diablo 3, you could just... You got the chips, and then you could upgrade those, and then you could upgrade those, and then you could upgrade those if you had... it was a constant up tier system, unlike this. So... Oh, shit. Oh, still didn't have enough. Thought I would.
Fair travels.
Okay. I had enough at least to, no. What do you got? None. Okay.
Find shade on your travels.
No, I didn't want to sit down. Get up, get up, get up! You did discover you can replace a lower level gem in gear with a higher level one without having done. Ooh. That is nice. Okay. We good? We good. Okay.
It's locked.
Oh. It was much more chatty a little bit ago, before the lag and the stuttering got really bad. And now I'm really having to pay attention to it. Cause, whoa.
Same dream as always. Serpent eyes in the darkness. Shadows slithering through the grass. I shed the skin from this old dying form. Then I am adorned in scales. Free from pain. In the scales are reflected faces I know. Villagers who scorned me, cursed me, laughed at me. Tongues flick in the darkness. Hear their words in my thoughts. Each life is a sacrifice for us. Each life is a scale for your rebirth. I awaken, and the snake is at my feet, waiting.
Flamberge. It's a weird word. I swear we just went through this one, but it said we hadn't been here before. But we did a dungeon just before this one that was basically the same damn one. Yep. Except in the last one, we had to kill off like 3 wards of eyes. I have all my guys. Oh, more shoes. Hmm. Bummer. Hmm. Turns out it might be your stream that's lagging. I was able. It's. Not saying I've dropped any frames. So if it's me, I don't know where or how. The hell? Oh no. I can still hear it. Wasn't me. Okay. What? Oh, no. Why did my... There's nothing wrong with my fucking router. I'll be right back. I hope. Welcome back. Okay, I did that one. Says I did that one. I didn't. Did I just finish it when we crashed? I had some strong words with it. I did. I did. We were killing the final boss. What's funny is I checked my router, said it was fine. Xbox said its network was fine. my laptop was still connected to the internet. But my Xbox decided to disconnect from everything. Randomly. Maybe I should get my can of air out and clean it.
Can't hold them all.
Just to be safe. That was close. Ow! Fucker. That didn't hurt. But yes, I did have some strong words for it. None of which were good for mixed company. Woo! That's our first heavy. War Dance Greaves. Never heard of them. Looks like I don't have them before. I haven't had them before either. Awesome. See, I remember this. Oh, we got shoes again. That's 3. So they aren't really giving me any movement speed. Eh. Shit. Oh.
I'm done for.
Yep. I changed the layout of the dungeon too in that very minimal amount of time that I was gone. Ew. So much poison everywhere. Oh, shit. Okay, good. I'm good. It's fine. Everything's fine. We're fine. Sudera? Zoo. Would that just be an S or would that be a Z? You know, I don't think I've ever actually seen those things breathing. That's weird and disconcerting. I don't like it. I would pronounce it as a Z. Sudera. I like, yeah. Archon, that's 2. What's this? Ooh, an artillery shrine. Greater scythe. I was gonna say, I must have missed something somewhere. Where did it go? Oh, hey. There we go. We don't seem to be lagging too much now. I'm waiting for when you get another golem. Do I get another golem? I mean, that would be badass if I did. Yeah, because we were here. Oh. And I think this is where... Oh, shit. Okay. I feel better now. Perhaps there's something on the Paragon board for it. That'd be cool. I wouldn't want to give up my skellies, though. I mean, the golems are nice, but... having only 1 or 2 of those and no skellies... that doesn't seem like a good idea to me. Especially my defender skellies, since they tend to taunt people and make them, you know, not want to attack me. Yeah, we're not really lagging anymore, so that's good. Here, have a doll.
What is that? An effigy?
I don't care.
What is it now?
Don't care. Alright, so from here... I need to go this way. Nope. Okay. Nope. Here we go. Make sure I have the right ones. Because knowing me, I forgot to change it or something. Ooh, what do we got there? Eh. my first. That's nice, but I don't think I really. Hello, Mother. That's the second one I found today. I shouldn't be surprised though, because Hauser was not somewhere I really wanted to stick around. Of all the areas that we went through with, you know, the main character, I spent the least amount of time in Hauser. Covens. Yeah, no thanks. Truth be told, I hated this area. I still don't like it much. Ooh, an artillery train. Not quite there yet. Ooh, perfect place for it. What do we got? This is why I love minion builds. I haven't lifted a finger yet. Oh. There we go. Now I gotta step in.
Wouldn't have made it without you.
That's absolutely true. Shoes. No. Those are ones I haven't seen before. Okay. So this build is working much better than I had before. Partially, I think, due to the enhancements that we made to the armory at the last on Sunday under your supervision. What kind of shrine is this? Artillery. Heavy. Down the hole we go. What kind of gauntlets? Not ones I can wear. I'm actually on Torment 1 with the other Necromancer, the one that's build is following similar to this one. Oh. Fur. Heavy. Not really. What's this? Blah blah blah. Difficulties have changed since I played the last time. I assume you still get better gear if you increase difficulty. Better gear. Oh, Strider's tunic. Highland. Better. More of everything. More experience. That sort of thing. Yeah, so and they're doing really well, actually. Far better than I expected them to on Torment. Bubbles. Are we full? We are. What all did I pick up? around the bend and out the hole. Oh shit, weathered. That's our first piece of weathered gear? Really? Can't say that that's really any better than... My original character has diamonds on his gear, but can't remember how that worked now, but obviously more diamonds are better. Yeah.
Come back if you need the forge. Okay, we need to go this where? Yeah, I'm trying to... What?
Oops. We'll head up that way. Might have something to do with master crabbing, which I have. See, I did unlock that with my necromancer, my other one. I'm still no clue what I'm supposed to be doing with it, but it's unlocked, and then I did what it told me to. But I haven't done anything more than that. Oh yeah, I don't want to deal with you, dude. Sacrificial jade wand. It's a spiffy looking wand. I might actually get past chapter... Oh! didn't lose any health at all there. How very strange. I'm not complaining. I'm just a little confused. I forgot what I was going to say. But I made chicken noodle soup. Completely had forgotten that particular train of thought. I thought it had been completely derailed. But so my daughter came down yesterday because she knows I've been struggling. And she took me grocery shopping and hung out for dinner and watched some TV with me. You know. I'd actually get to meet her boyfriend in person this weekend. He's supposedly coming up over whatever he's coming out for the weekend to visit, and he lives in Chicago, so he's talking about taking the train out here to come see her, which I think is fabulous. I've met him briefly via video chat and whatnot, but not actually sat in the same room, so I'm kind of excited. But we made chicken noodle soup yesterday. I've got potatoes in my Instant Pot right now that are going to be loaded baked potato soup after stream. And I'm super excited about that. Although, man, we were talking because her boyfriend's got some allergies, man. Some really, I think they're a little unusual, but apparently, well, 2 out of the 3 I've heard of before, but not like a whole lot. But he's allergic to milk, or dairy, rather, which is not terribly uncommon. I mean, I find more people that are intolerant rather than actually allergic. Eggs. And then and one of her favorite meals is like chicken noodle soup. But the base that we use has milk and soy products in it. It must be my priest, because I'm not really losing. My mages must be my priest. I really haven't, I mean, I'm and then another one of her favorite meals is my beef and barley soup. We were looking at like my groceries, and you know, we were talking about the different meals like she grew up with that she wants to be able to share with him and can't because there's no substitution for some of it. And I'm like, I can only somewhat understand the frustration in the sense that I've had helmet partners and potential partners. It's really not all that big a deal. Well, I found the other one. I forgot I had the one on my back. Or just, friends who I didn't have to deal with like allergies so much, but like none of them like fish or seafood. And it's just like, really? Hate that. I don't necessarily eat it a lot, but god damn it, I'd love to be able to explore it a little bit more. With somebody who actually enjoyed it, but nobody I've been interested in actually does. So, I mean, I understand the frustration to a point. I mean, none of the shit will kill them, but the frustration of not being able to share the things that I love with someone because they can't eat it, or in my case, won't. In his case, it'll kill him, but still. I felt bad is what it came down to, is I understood and empathized with her frustration, wanting to be able to share, especially like, because food was, I can't say it was super important to growing up, but it was, it's how I show people, I care, I cook for them, I find out what their favorite meals are, and I make them, or, if they want to try something, I try to go out of my way to find out how to make whatever it is, and I will try and do it. It's just... And, comfort, it's like, you're having a rough day, is there a particular meal you want me to make? So on and so forth. Did I forget to grab the... Oh. That's not the right kind of helm. Like,
I beg you.
she doesn't like my loaded baked potato soup. But it would have been nice to offer it to her boyfriend. Not a big deal. I don't want to kill him. It's okay. But good lord, I can only imagine. I feel so sorry for his parents. And for him. Because, I mean, this is EpiPen kind of level of allergies, And he's in his early 20s, or mid-20s now, I suppose. I cannot imagine being, his parents. And the hell they must have gone through. Figuring all of that shit out, My son had this weird thing, like, if we introduced a new food to him, oftentimes he would have an allergic reaction to it. I remember we fed him peanut butter just a little bit, or his grandma did, and he broke out in hives. So we did not feed him peanut butter like for ages after that, because we didn't want, she said she'd given him less than a teaspoon and he'd broken out at hives, so we didn't want to risk any sort of other anaphylaxis. I mean, that's slightly better. I mean, I'll hang on to it, I suppose. Won't really hurt me. I need to put an extra fucking socket in it. And another time I remember was blueberries. I gave him some blueberry yogurt, and he had problems. He said his throat got scratchy, and he broke out in hives. He had that happen when he tried a new variety of mushroom from like the Chinese buffet recently. Or not recently, it was several years ago. But the first time he tried it, broke out in hives. Or maybe not hives that time, but I know he had scratchy throat and everything. It was so weird. I don't know if he still has reactions like that, or if he even notices if he, you know, if they do have, and I'm not even sure he would notice, honestly. But, it was so weird. It was like just this rolling allergy to any sort of new food that we gave him. It was just, it was so weird. But he grew out of it. I mean, we fed him peanut butter again, like 6-8 months later, and no issues, none. Yeah, he was. It was literally like the first. It was the first introduction, and his body freaked out about it. Like he, you know, he could eat. He ate blueberry muffin after that, no issues. He has had peanut butter since then. You know, like I said, the second time, like 6-8 months after the first time. Yeah, no problem. Doc didn't say it was like normal, but he hadn't really heard much about anything like that happening. But he's like, sometimes, you know, people have different like histamine responses to things. It just obviously it's not, you know, something to be terribly worried about since he grew out of it, but you know, definitely because at some point, you know, those it may not be just a small histamine reaction like hives or an itchy throat, you know. So he does have to be alert for big, you know, changes that could potentially, you know, be really bad, but overall, yeah, it doesn't seem to have a problem. Let's see if that'll tell me anything. We got any more?
What?
I think I actually killed a person. Oops. No, wrong way. pigs. So, but I know how much it freaked me out at the time. Yeah, my mages must be priests because I watched my health like jolt back up, so it must be them. Okay. I don't know why they call them priests and then call them mages in the fucking menu. Begress. No. It's terrifying. Wondering if the next food that I introduce him to is going to be the one that, like, he went into full anaphylactic shock. Ugh. Mm-mm. And my son having been my first baby, I mean, I already had all that terror from being, you know, a first-time parent. Worried that they're gonna get sick, catch a cold, you know, get the lung issues, and ugh. No, too much. There was so much to be afraid of. And then my understanding, he's got an older sister, so I don't know if maybe she has similar issues, that so it wasn't, maybe it wasn't a big deal for them. But whoa. As a parent, I was absolutely terrified. Because the chicken noodle soup, we put butter in it, and we use egg noodles. My daughter and I got into an argument about what kind of noodle actually belongs in chicken noodle soup. I pointed out you could put any noodle in there, honestly. Shit, the horror that was on her face when I said that. It was so funny. And she's like, "You're wrong. I love you, but you're wrong." Okay. Okay. She did manage to find a noodle type that did not have egg in it and did not. Uh, she did find a noodle that, like, had the right consistency, didn't have any eggs in it, and at least the packaging did not say it was made in, you know, near eggs and milk and all that. But it can be any noodle. Yes, throw in some udon if you want. Not traditional, but yeah. Okay. Ooh, artillery. This way. Bad guys. Be a waste of a shrine if you're hiding. Okay. Oh, there you go. Yeah, for her it's a texture thing because I'm like, I like thicker noodles, heartier noodles, but we always used, you know, egg noodles. But as an adult, well, I was an adult then too, because everybody's like, that's what everybody puts in their chicken noodle soup is egg noodles. Oh shit. But that worked out in my favor. It got me away from the bad guys. I thought that said silvering horn. It was like shivering horror. So I prefer a thicker, you know, heartier noodle. And I found company, I'm not entirely, I don't know what the company is called, but they call them Amish noodles. Maybe the company's Amish, called the Amish something. Anyway, they're much closer to what I like. They're just really long, and I forget to break them up. And my daughter's okay with those noodles, but she wants the texture and everything of egg noodles. Because that's what she grew up with and that's what she likes. But that was an interesting, I mean, my kids are quite the character. They're unique. They're unique individuals, and I love it. Wow, we haven't picked up a single pair of Sandworn. We're also not in a place that I suppose that it would be normal to drop. Yeah, I just love that though, talking about the noodles and telling her anything you know, it's chicken noodle soup. It's whatever noodle you have to put in there. Although I did have to agree with her because she's like, you would not put spaghetti in chicken noodle soup. And I'm like, she's not wrong. I never would. Because that does seem a little weird to me. I mean, if it's all I had, I'd break it up a lot, but... and make sure it had, you know, turned into a lot of tiny noodles, but... oh. Oh my god, the horror on her face. It was hilarious. Oh, hey, look. Didn't I just say we hadn't picked up any Sandworm stuff? Okay. The wider the noodle, the more I like it. Hello. Fettuccine, linguine, spaghetti. I like Oh, I love a good fettuccine Alfredo. I really do. I found that for me it's like I like fusilli, I think it's, and I use like radiatore for my pasta salad. I tried bow ties for my pasta salad, and they were just, they fell apart so hard and so easily. I mean, and that's the one she found that she likes the most. I'm like, it's gonna fall apart. It's not gonna be bow tie shaped. She's like, that's fine, because it's the consistency for her and the texture. And the fact that her boyfriend could eat it, probably. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I didn't really actually. I'm a dumbass sometimes. That's okay. Pants! I wonder what kind of pants. Bone weave pants. They're very nice. I haven't been counting bone weave, and I should have been. Oh well. No, I do not like to be frozen. It looks nice, but I don't like eating, but I don't either. It falls apart, it feels slimy to me, and it just... I don't like shells either, because they don't stop absorbing until they turn into something absolutely disgusting. Like, I have a recipe for a wonderful Italian wedding soup that calls for shell pasta. I'd replace bow tie with either macaroni or ravioli, assuming I could stuff the latter. Oh god. Train derailed. I don't like it either. I tried using it with my pasta salad. It failed. I like the idea of it. I also don't like rotini for the same reason. It like falls apart so fucking easily. Oh, shells. That's what it was. Italian wedding soup. Loved the Italian wedding soup. But holy hell. We found we have to use like the large shells because they're the only ones that'll stop absorbing after a certain point, and even then they get to the point where they're almost inedible too. Rainbow bow tie is, yes, very pretty, and that's what I was told to use for my pasta salad. But it fell apart so fucking easy. was not worth it. That's how I found the ratatouille. It's this just tiny, like, pasta. Very, very small. But it's got all of these crevices that the dressing that I would toss my pasta salad with would get, you know, caught in. And it was, oh my god, it's so good. So good. I guess we'll go this way. I actually have a book on, like, pastas, like all sorts of different pastas and what they can be used for and the, like, history behind them. So due to my issues with food, I really should not eat, like, bread or pasta. Or, you know, anything wheat. It's not good for me. It doesn't make me feel good, but oh my god, I love bread. And I do enjoy pasta. My ex-husband loves pasta. I think I did. I must have done that one already. But yeah, I've tried. I like the rainbow rotini. But again, it falls apart so easily. Just does not hold up. Oh, shit. Okay, so... I haven't found a better noodle for my Italian wedding soup yet. Me. More fur lined. So we are just about to overtake Soulburger's level. We're on our third day. And the lag has definitely disappeared. So that's good. Protection. Oh! Another money one. Did he die? No. I? I must have killed him. It's the second one that we've seen today. Maybe third. I didn't want to pick that up. I will put that down in a second. No, Italian wedding soup is often tiny little bowl. And I think it's really subject to interpretation and, you know, family recipes and region probably. But the ones that I have most often seen is the pasta is these like tiny little balls. But we couldn't find those. And then we found a recipe. Oh, hey. That called for shells, called for the small ones, but man, overnight they soaked up all the juice and it was absolutely disgusting to try and eat. So I've got the beads, the tiny balls, the beads. I've seen it with the tiny little tubes, which actually might not be a bad idea. My concern is after dealing with like the shells and the absorption rate. It's like, ugh, it's so icky. We just got these. We got these last session. Couldn't drop anything I could actually use. I didn't want that. Nope. Okay. And I see all the tiny bead pasta, and all I can think about is the Orbitz drink from when I was young, and that was so icky. That was terrible mouthfeel. And I don't like tapioca pudding either. Yes, it's different from orzo. I don't know that I've actually had orzo. I've been told that orzo has like a rice-like consistency almost, or mouth feel. Looks like rice, but it's a bit more. There's the other piece. Okay. Oh man, they died quick, didn't they? Oh, no, this way. I know if I wanted to find some of the, I guess, less common pastas, I could go to Horrocks and I'd probably find some. Because I know going to like the grocery, my local grocery store, you know, they have very limited selection, and it's always the most common, you know, fettuccine, spaghetti, bow ties. I mean, I was really surprised when they started carrying, like, the stuff that I use for my pasta salad and the fusilli, I'm not entirely sure the pronunciation, but that one, which I think I have used in my chicken noodle soup because the noodles are denser. I really should eat something like rice noodles or maybe chickpea noodles, but the texture, oh my god. Oh hey, fur-lined. And yes, that's no wonder if we, no one, yeah, it's okay, yeah. Number 2 is orzo, then which is small tube, and then tubulative, yeah, farfalla, yep, is the bow tie shells, yeah. Yeah, a chini, I think that's a chini. Orzo. Yeah, I'll have to, but I've been meaning to look for a different pasta to use because I like broth. I like my broth. It's a soup. It's supposed to have broth. And I don't like slimy noodles, which is what they get when they get oversaturated. He didn't even get the opportunity to put out a shock lance. Well, that was a weak-ass dungeon, which is fine on occasion. And I've looked everywhere, so that means we can get out of here without an issue. If the small tubes, I'll have to see if I can find some. I like that idea too. No. No. Look at that ugly thing. I want to mix these up at Toscana too. Oh, I love that. It's so good. Set in the crock pot all day. Gotta go this way. I know I can find the small tubes at Horrocks. I've seen them there. I have one of my kids take me down to one. Fortunately, I have one here. I have a Horrocks here in town. I believe there are 3 in the state. One's in Lansing, where my kids live. One's where I live, and I think there's one in Grand Rapids too. I could be wrong. More fur-lined pants. Okay. Guys. Hey, look. Dungeon. Buses to us. I like mine better. You're not a soup fan, but the 2 I would order pretty much without thinking are mulligatawny and borscht. Really? Borscht. That's a beet soup. Isn't it? Beet and cream. And the mulligatawny, isn't that, that's a stew of, isn't that a seafood stew? I'm probably butchering the pronunciation. Indian lentil, okay. I'm thinking of then. I found the one I'm thinking of when I was looking up Low Country Boils. That was a little hairy. See, if a restaurant, I like chicken noodle. That's usually the one I'll order. More fur-lined. I've wanted to enjoy like tomato soup. Can't do it. There's just something wrong, or at least not any like commercial one that I've tried. There's just something wrong with the flavor and the texture in my mouth. I'll sometimes feel like Vietnamese, Chinese, or Japanese soup. I like hot and sour soup. I do like that. I've never had wonton soup. I've tried egg drop and it's alright. Those are the only ones that I have, exposure to, really. Oh, for fuck's sake. All these little guys. Oh. Shock lance and freezing. Love it. No, I don't. Not even a little bit. Mangler. Okay, that's kind of funny. I look at Asian food and it looks so good. And I want to like it. But cilantro. And ginger. Can't eat them. Ginger makes me nauseous. And cilantro tastes like soap. I also cannot get behind eating organ meats. Or other random things. Like tendons. Or aortas. Chicken feet. That shit scares me. It doesn't look like food. Alright. My ex-husband loves pho. And you know what? It looks really good. I don't know if I could eat it.
How can I help?
That's not what I wanted to do. Damn it. Oh, and for my Zuppa Toscana, on top of, you know, it calls for bacon. And I bought some bacon steaks. That's what they're called. They're just like stupid thick slices of bacon. And cook some of that. It's like ham. That's what it reminds me of. Cut some of that up and put that in there instead of regular bacon. It was fantastic. Something to just sink my teeth into. I love a good stew, too. I haven't figured out how to make a good one, though. I also got makings for chili. This is a whole lot of nothing. What is this? Is this a whole lot of nothing, too? Probably. I think we're almost... Nope. I'm missing 2 dungeons in Hauser. That must be because I cannot access them without doing the main quest. Or something similar. Oh, it might be up there. I'll check this place out first. I won't be making Zuppa Toscana until maybe next month, though. I don't have any spicy Italian sausage, and I didn't pick up any. While I was at the store. But I think I'm going to save some of the sour cream from tonight and make the stroganoff that I meant to do. I also have stuff to make hot chocolate. I'm so excited. I'm just trying. Okay. Ha! Alright. Ooh. Protection shrine. Okay. I know I did try like a fried shrimp udon soup. Got it from the sushi place. And I was very disappointed. Also because the noodles were just so thick and slimy. Which was Highland. Okay. Which I thought was so strange. Like they felt in my mouth like they were oversaturated. And I don't know if that's something that comes from rice, that happens in rice noodles too, or just wheat pasta. I'm really glad we don't have any more lag. Just wish it would have started that way. Around the tendrils. Druidic charm.
The beasts can't resist the scent of blood, even their own. I have enough here to lure out a few. Care to join the hunt?
Sure. Whoops. Did not move fast enough.
Oh, they're angry now.
I can't slay the 5 enraged devourers if they don't show up. I've got 10 seconds left. What the hell?
Didn't collect much. It won't make me rich, but it'll help. Yeah,
I
that's for
thought
you.
it was strange that some of these people would have Scottish accents, though I suppose they have to have an accent of some kind. Yeah. Oh, bulls. Island trousers. Well, I mean, yeah, they gotta have accents of some kind. It's supposed to be a very diverse world. Ew. Slay all the enemies. I can do that. With some help from my little friends. Another thing is they really like star anise, Chinese, Vietnamese, Japanese, that sort of thing. Which is licorice. So in theory, I love Asian food. In actuality, probably not. 'Cause it looks so good, and it sounds so amazing. Ooh, love this. More fur line. Oh, no. Okay. I went too far. There was a chest. I guess I missed it. I didn't think I had. Uh-oh. Didn't I kill you already today? I swear I did. Wrong button. No, it was the right button. Oh, okay. First time I've had to use a fucking potion in a minute. Oh, we're not far from the city. Okay. More. Here we go. I could socket it. I'll socket that one. Not here, though. Here.
That came apart nicely.
Alright. I don't think there's anything we can do, anything more we can do to her armor. I mean, she's not doing bad. We really need lightning and shadow resistance. At some point we need to up those. I mean, they're not terrible, but we've definitely had better. So this will do it for me today. I will be back on Friday and again Sunday. I appreciate y'all coming out, hanging out, watching me play video games badly. No death toll for the day. That's pretty good. So this is day 4. We have hit level 43. I'm not entirely certain where we stopped with Soulburger. I think it was level 43-ish. So we've reached almost, right there with Soulburger. So that's good. Still haven't found any gold armor other than that one piece, and I'm starting to think that's not Strider armor. I may have been mistaken when I purchased it, because we haven't found any gold. Same with Drifter. It was very strange. So I don't know if they can get gold or higher. I know Sturdy doesn't appear in anything higher than gold. Wanderer definitely appears in gold, but I haven't necessarily seen it in anything higher. Still haven't found a unique we can wear, which is sad. Of course, we've only picked up 2, and they've been the same fucking one. I mean, overall, we're not doing too bad. We've pretty much... We're almost done with all of the dungeons in Hauser. And then we can move on to somewhere else. see how we going so far. And I will have to tally up the pieces of armor we found so we can figure out kind of who's going to be next and, you know, what their run will be. But I appreciate you. I will see you Friday.